Hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, or welcome back if you're a Drew Crew loyalist and you were curious to see what my thoughts were. As this week we're talking about Nancy Drew Season 2. What do I think is going to happen? What do I hope to see from the characters pop out by the end of the season? And when the hell will this come out? Well, screw you, COVID. That'll probably be my last COVID reference on my shows ever. Anyway, so Nancy Drew Season 1 wrapped up a couple weeks ago. We did all 18 episode reviews. We did all of Season 1, so if you want to go check that out, go check it out on the channel. It's all there for you. Or if you're about to start binging it, please go binge it. It's a pretty good show. You'll enjoy your time there. So anyway, so today for my last Nancy Drew video I want to do for a while before Season 2 starts up again. I'm going to do a whole Season 2 predictions video because I still know the characters, I still know what's going on, I still know where the story's at, because if I have done this maybe a week before we premiere, I'm pretty sure I'm going to forget a lot of things, so it's better I do this now, where my mind is still very much fresh into that world. I'm able to give some very hopeful things, as hopefully the showrunners and the writers are currently scripting out Season 2, since they have the time now. And yeah, let's get down to it. So, this is my second time doing a predictions thing after High School Musical, so let's see how this goes. So, with Season 1 being cut short as it was, we have still the lingering Aglaria storyline still yet to resolve, which will now probably be the Season 2 mystery Kickstarter, and then hopefully we'll get into the actual Season 2 mystery that they were probably planning for before COVID happened. So, I feel like for me personally, I think the Aglaria mystery is definitely going to be the next step. That's going to be the right direction to kick off Season 2 to kind of get that going. I feel like it should just be condensed to the first half of the season, if we do get the typical, the usual, let's say 22 episode order, deal with the Aglaria in the first half, and then have a whole new thing in the second half, because I don't know what the original plan was for the Aglaria storyline, if that was going to be wrapped up by the end of Season 1, and if that was the case, I would, if they want to stretch it out, that's fine, but just don't make it a whole season plot, because I don't think that would work. Because when you have the Dead Lucy and the Tiffany murders, they made sense because they were meant to kick off the story, and then we got to the more around the midway part, and then we had to wrap both of them up, and then we got into the Aglaria storyline. So I feel like for the Aglaria, I do believe it should just be the first half of the season thing, and then we move on. I feel like as well as we should, like for me personally, I would like to see more, if they're going to really harper into the supernatural elements, I would like to see some one-off mystery episodes with the Drew Crew. Nothing pertaining to the actual season-long story or the bigger mystery for them to solve. The thing is that I talked about this during my Season 1 individual review. I was really excited to see the character Nancy Drew just solve mysteries. I respect what they were doing with this season, but I feel like now that they've established the characters, now that they've established this world they're in, I feel like it's time we could start branching off into one-off. We don't necessarily have to keep following the storyline. I mean, I know we do, but it's just a nice way to kind of like break things and kind of like just give Nancy Drew a little bit of time in her element. Just like, here's an easy victory. Well, not an easy victory, but like, here's a hard-earned victory. This is going to be this one thing, and that's it, nothing else. I feel like that's the right step they could start doing in Season 2 if they don't really want to, like, if they don't really, I mean, I'm not disrespecting the writers or anything, but I feel like that this would be an opportunity to, like, at least not to break away from, like, trying to make every episode another stepping stone piece. I mean, we could still get that, like, little clues in every episode, or maybe just a scene to kind of, like, push along the season-long mystery, but have a majority be solo independent mysteries. Not the whole season, but, like, maybe, let's say, an episode 4, and then maybe an episode 11, something like that. Something like that, of that nature. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. And as for the other, I don't know why I'm itching so much. For the other season-long mystery, I want to see something different, because we had 2 murder mysteries literally stacked on top of each other at the start of the show. And then we moved into the supernatural. Who is the Aglaria? What is their backstory? One. And I feel like for the next one, I don't want to see another murder mystery. I feel like we've done that already. I know that's the usual trope you would do in these types of shows. I just want to see something else different. I mean, they were about to start the Owen one, which I was like, oh no, not another one. Was this going to take up the whole season? I'm like, no, it's done in one episode. Thank God. And I'm not against them doing another murder mystery. I'm just, take a break for a while, move away from it, move on to something else. I don't necessarily know what type of next mystery you can do. Maybe a serial killer one, maybe I don't know, again, the writers usually do better than I would ever do, but whatever their next season-long thing's going to be, if they want to keep it in the supernatural realm, same with the Igleria, yeah, let them do that, but in terms of, like, if you're doing just a human basic element of this, something else besides murder would be pretty cool. Maybe an old-fashioned whodunit. Actually, no, wait, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Sorry, my throat's parched. Been thinking about a lot of stuff all day. Yeah, I really don't. Now that I'm thinking about, like, I would like to see maybe like a rival character just be like something like a Moriarty that was to Sherlock. I would love to see something like that in Nancy Drew. Like, get like another female like intelligent equivalent to Nancy Drew that's not entirely good. I would like to see something like that, or maybe save it for season 3 or whatever. But that would be a pretty cool idea to see. So, enough about story. I want to see characters. Let's talk about characters. Because timeline-wise, I think we're still into we're still in the leap year Nancy Drew promised to take. Because I don't even think we even hit any major holiday. I think we're still in September by the current standpoint of the storyline. That's in my opinion. I'm not really sure. They never really mentioned holidays. And the last time we checked up on them, they were still technically in summer break or in the summer time zone. I believe. I could be wrong though. I don't really keep track of the dates on that show. But I think we're still in the middle of that time period. So we haven't necessarily hit the end of Nancy Drew's leap year, so I think it's best that, you know, we still take advantage of that, considering the fact that if they're going to stretch the whole Nancy Drew series in that one subsection of time, I'm fine with it. I'm perfectly fine with that. It's just, I don't know. But if they're going to take advantage of that, I would love to see the characters kind of like wrestle with their futures away from Horseshoe Bay. I feel like, again, with anything that relates to a show that revolves around a small town, there's always that conversation about, oh, we want to get away from this small town and start a new life somewhere. I've always heard that. And I feel like for here, it could definitely work into the storyline of season 2. I mean, we've already had Ace declare he has no intention of leaving Horseshoe Bay, and Bess has the Marvins, but Nancy has always been that character in the beginning where it's like, she's always been like, now that she has this detective element in her again, I think it will bring up the fact that, and also with Owen, also before I continue spoilers, I will spoil some stuff from season 1. When Owen died, actually I already freaking spoiled that earlier, I didn't say spoilers, I'm sorry guys. When Owen dead, she doesn't really have, even if Owen wasn't dead, Owen was always attached to the larger world beyond Horseshoe Bay, so it would have been more conceivable for Nancy to have an opportunity to leave anytime soon. And with everything going on, there could be a storyline I could see with Nancy where she is wrestling the fact that could she leave Horseshoe Bay for good? Could that be a possibility? Because there's no more real family, like a deep more. Like the last time we left her and Mr. Drew, they were definitely not resolved. They still had some things to work through. And her real father, Ryan, that is still very much up in the air what she wants to do with that relationship next. Because at first she was kind of denying it, now she's like rejecting it. Or she's not really willing to open to the fact that this guy could be her father, and he's not that much older than her. So, what will transpire in that, we'll see when we come back. Also, I know it's a CW show, so, but I kind of also hope that we just see season 2, just Nancy not having any romantic connections, like just letting her find herself in this new, because remember, at the end of season 1, her world is shattered. Like, what she knew she was, majority of it was shattered, because her family wasn't really her family. The person who was her family, she actually suspected of murder multiple times, and the person she supposedly was interested in, like, following up with romantically is gone, so and now she's being haunted by a freaking spirit, or an entity. So where does that leave her next? So that's going to be like a whole identity crisis storyline I would love to see. Yeah, so enough about Nancy. Let's move on to the next main character of the show, Ace. We need to see more Ace, come on. I think that's all under agreement that we need to see more of Ace in season 2. Like, there were just periods where, like, oh, Ace is there, then, oh, Ace is not there. But then Ace is back, and then he's not. And, like, again, I understand you don't want to over-push your characters in places just because they need to be there. I've seen shows that have done that. They just put characters into storylines, and naturally they don't make sense, but we have the actors on payroll, so we need to have them do something. But no, I think there's a lot of cool possibility you could take with Ace. I know Ace is probably already wrapped with Tiffany's sister already, so I don't see that happening again anytime soon. But I would like to see more of his origins. I would love to see more of, like, what was Ace before the chill guy we seen in the series. I would love to see that. And I just want to see him, like, maybe start to see opportunities beyond Horseshoe Bay as well. Like, I know, again, I said this before, Season 1 kind of firmly established he has no current plans to leave Horseshoe Bay because he still has business there. But I would just love to see something pop along, maybe some sort of governmental job in data analysis or data hacking or something in the hacking community that's legal that he could potentially explore. And having to leave his friends, leave his dad. I would love to see that storyline. I would love to see that. George. In my Season 1 review, I commented that George was probably the most well-developed character in Season 2. I would like to see that... in Season 1, I would like to see more of her story continue in Season 2 now being where we left off. Open to having a willing relationship. Open to having... being more open to men after what Ryan did to her years ago. She's open to that. And I feel like she needs to... I don't know where you can exactly take her next, because I feel like she's satisfied with... I mean, there's also that other thing with Season 1 that she's supposedly set to die in the next year. So if Nancy Drew, again, decides to, like, stretch out this gap year, as I'll call it, for Nancy, into, like, multiple seasons, I'm fine with that. So, but that will always be lingering in the back of our minds that maybe George is going to die someday. Hopefully they'll find a way to not let that happen. But maybe if they were to figure out that George was going to die no matter what, and I would like to see her go for something of, like, what is, like, figure out the more important meaning of life. Since she's leaving a lot behind, I'm saying hypothetically, that she has a mom who's not entirely 100% fit to be a mom, her sisters that desperately need her help, and now a boyfriend and a co-partner that she can't exactly leave behind. So having to deal with that would be something interesting to see in Season 2, especially continuing her great story, her great character development when we saw in the first season. And that leads to Nick. Nick is kind of an interesting place because I can't really think on the top of my head what you can exactly do with the character. Because, obviously, I don't want Nick to, like, be where he was in the beginning of Season 1, where he was just the boyfriend to one of the female characters, and just being support. I want him to see him do something more. Like, it's fine to do that, but he needs to have something more. And maybe it would be just having him be a comedic relief, just, like, trying to run a business and having the Drew crew trying to solve mysteries would be interesting to see. But... I really don't know. Like, Nick is, like, the one character. Like, I'm pretty sure someone's yelling at me right now. Like, obviously, there's so many things you could do with Nick. Like, yeah, no doubtedly. But it's just, for me, I'm always, like, logistically thinking, what is the next natural step? Like, I would love to see Nick be a politician for some reason, but that makes no sense with his character. You know what I mean? It's just figuring out what exactly to do and what exactly could work in this show with his character. And for Nick, if they just turn him into a comedic relief and just having him try to run the restaurant legally would be fun. That would be a fun way to continue him. And, well, obviously he'll still be a friend. He'll still be helpful in the investigations. But, you know, he's got a business to run. You got to think about that. Like Horseshoe Bay needs its diner, restaurant sort of thing. I don't even know what restaurant type it's classified under. Anyway, Bess. So Bess was kind of in an interesting position where I could think of many things you can take her. Now being firmly squared into the Marvins. Where do we see her do that next, considering the fact that the Marvins are under a criminal investigation by also her girlfriend. So it's going to be it's a split between two worlds thing. Like, does she support the woman she loves, or does she support this newfound family she's gained? And we obviously know the obvious answer she should be exploring, but for her, she's still going to be wrestling that, because seeing her in the beginning of Season 1, working her way to find out and earn her place in the Marvins, it's something that you can't just forget. That, yes, there was a time here where Beth was fighting to be part of the Marv. But then while she was fighting to get into that family, she was also getting another family in the Drew crew and also her girlfriend. So she can't really forget about that. And the way that the Patriot and kind of, said to her in the season finale that, hey, we're Marvins, we help each other out. That's going to come back to bite her in the ass someday. where the Marvins are going to probably do something shady that she's going to find out, and she needs to stay quiet about it. And that's probably going to wrestle with her morals, especially also being with a law enforcement girlfriend. It's going to probably, create some issues for her to handle. And I want to see that in season 2. I definitely want to see that and see how does she manage her way through it, and how does she come out of it, differently or better, whatever. And also, there's an opening in the season 2 cast. I mean, that detective lady that was Mr. Drew's girlfriend was not there anymore. There's an opening. Could be a new character. Just saying. I don't know who it would be. Here's the thing about TV shows. There's no doubtably going to be a new season 2 character that's going to somehow get inserted into the group. We're going to either love them and hate them at first, but eventually we're going to love them. Who would that be? I really don't know. As for the other supporting characters, Mr. Drew, it'll be interesting to see where Mr. Drew turns out in season 2, because the first season definitely just sent him out like he is Nancy's dad. He cares about her. He loves her. And now, ending season 1, Nancy does not like him. She doesn't want to do anything with him for a while. So where does that leave him? Since that he lost his wife, he lost his daughter. Well, daughter in spirit, daughter not biological daughter, but just you know what I mean. And also he lost his girlfriend because she was actually tampering with evidence. So he has nothing really. Like, all he has is a house. That's all he really has anymore. So where do we see that going for him? I wouldn't be surprised if we see less of Mr. Drew in season 2, as he's not really connected with Nancy anymore, or at least until Nancy tries to figure it out. So it'll be interesting to see where we take him next, especially now we're all aware of all the revelation that Ryan's the father and Nancy's not really his biological daughter and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know why I have a cut here. It'll just be interesting to see where they take him next. I'm just interested. And I'll be open to seeing him more often, because I was very vocal in season 1 that I did not like this particular actor, because they were going to cast Freddie Prinze Jr. as the character. I would have been so down with that. That would have been so dope. But recasting, I understand that this actor is doing a fine job. It's just, I was very much down to see Freddie Prinze Jr., And yeah, I mean, there's other secondary characters I can think of, like Ace's dad, the original sheriff. I mean, I would love to see them just like pop in season 2. And again, so when do I think this season's gonna air? Again, with COVID, I would have said fall. Simple said and done. But since with the nature of the coronavirus right now, we just don't have a time frame anymore about anything anymore. Like, when are productions able to resume filming? When are we going to see the world returning to the new normal? I honestly don't know. I would love to think we see Nancy Drew again in the fall. I would love to. But if we don't, because production has to start in July. That's the thing. And the thing is that no one's going to be able to do anything until maybe June. So hopefully if they get everything in order, maybe we'll see something. But I really don't know. I really don't. And it's a bummer. It's a real bummer. But I don't know, really. I can't really tell. Like, if I have to be a betting man, I wouldn't be surprised if this gets delayed till January next year. Like all the other shows. Like, it really sucks, but at the end of the day, the lives of the people are more important than a TV show. And that is even more difficult for me to say, considering the fact I make videos every single week about TV shows. And I kind of have to rely on that new content for episode reviews. But don't worry, I got other stuff to review, so I'm fine, don't worry. The rest of the world's more important than me, don't worry about it. But it's just like really weird that like we were getting to such a good point in nearly a lot of shows on television right now, and then this had to happen. It sucks, but that's the way the world works. And also, how many episodes do I think this should get? Well, the thing is that the 18 episodes just worked fine on its own because of the delay. I don't know how it would have worked if we had gotten the full 22. I mean, again, if they do what I said, like just branch out to some individual mysteries then and there in the season, that'd be cool. But if we are coming back in the spring term, in the 2020 half of the next television season, I'd be more game to see a 13-episode second season, just to have a more tighter, condensed story. Like, I like when the stories are tighter, because like I'm not saying like there's bad filler or this show had any bad filler. I'm not saying that at all. But eventually, the more you keep going, the more you have to like, okay, we have this many episodes to work with again, and this is our storyline, and maybe we can stretch it out to here, but then maybe we can add some fluff. I don't like that in shows. So if they're able to like, if season 2 ends up being reduced because of everything going on, I'll be fine with that. And I feel like that would be a very nice template to move forward. But Again, it's up to the CW. Again, at the end of the day, it's up to the world to whenever this is over. So hopefully that'll be soon. And yeah, so I'm excited for Nancy Drew season 2. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see the Drew Crew again on our television with brand new episodes, which sadly is going to be a while. It's going to be a while, and it really sucks. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, that's my overall hopes and dreams for season 2 of Nancy Drew. So for you guys, let me know in the comment. What do you guys want to see in the second season of Nancy Drew? Let me know. I'm always there. I'm always open to conversation. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for me, guys. And that's a wrap on our Nancy Drew content. It's kind of bittersweet because Nancy Drew was one of the first launch lineup shows for What's on the Tube. And now it's over for now. I mean, I know it's going to come back. I'm saying it like it's over, like it's canceled. Like, it's not canceled. It's just, we're just not going to see it for a while. It kind of bums me out that we at least have to go for an entire summer without it. I mean, I wish it can go on a little bit longer. But, what are you going to do? Three, two, one. So what's coming up after Nancy Drew? Now, I haven't made a formal announcement on this yet. I don't feel like I was going to make a formal announcement on this for a while. But I feel like it's now. It's time. So, Nancy Drew is sadly over for now. So what show will be taking over its Thursday time slot? There's only one answer. It's time. It's time for her to answer the call. We here at ActionX on What's in the Tube will be reviewing each and every episode of Stargirl, the newest DC TV show that's coming on DC Universe and the CW next in a couple weeks. That will be our next show we're reviewing. We'll be reviewing each and every episode in its first 13 episode season, which will be starting May 7th. No, it starts May 16th. No way. May 1, 8, 15, 16, 17, 18. It'll be starting May 18th on DC Universe, and then it'll be going on the CW afterwards for people who have the CW or the CW app, May 19th, and then for us here at ActionX, we'll be reviewing each and every episode that will be posted every single Thursday on it. So you guys have, DC Universe fans, you have 3 days to watch your Stargirl episode, or CW fans, you have 2. I'm giving you guys plenty amount of time. I was thinking of another show to do, but I feel like that's not fair for me to jump into that right now. I'd rather start fresh with Stargirl. I won't spoil what the other show was going to be, but because I might just review that later down the line somehow. And yeah, so DC Stargirl will be our next series review to be doing on What's in the Tube. That'll be taking over the Thursday time slot officially on May 21, I believe. If I got the dates right, 21. No, the May 20th. May 20th will be our new day. That will be the new day for Stargirl. But we still have a couple weeks before then. So what are we going to do for the next couple of weeks while we're waiting for Stargirl to begin her career? Well, that has yet to be determined. I'm going to be talking about next week. Well, actually, I just contradicted myself. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do for both weeks. I know for next week, we're going to be talking about Jane the Virgin. It's going to be a fun one. That'll be on the Thursday time slot. And then next week, don't know what I'm going to do after that. But we're going to have 2 one-offs in between then until we get to Stargirl. But stay tuned for that. But if you're just a Drew Crew fan, I'll see you guys for Season 2. So guys, if you're wondering where this was What's in the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more of us, please subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell for notifications when we have a new episode review live. Like, favorite, share if you want to. And also follow us on social media feeds. And I'll see you guys next time. And for you Drew Crew fans, stay safe out there. I'll see you guys when Season 2 picks up at some point in the near future. I'll miss you guys. Peace out. Stay safe.